Welcome to Divine Truth, my series speaking with others around the world as they tell their stories of pre-birth memories and near-death out-of-body experiences. Prepare to be amazed and inspired as I explore their true, incredible journeys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Paranormal Experiencer. My name is Michelle Rogers, and today my guest is Yvonne Sneeden. Yvonne, so wonderful to have you with me today. I'm just so honored that you're on this Divine Truth series to explain your experiences. And Yvonne, if you don't mind, if you would please just give us some background about yourself.
Hi, Michelle. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me to your series, actually. And I'm so excited to be with you here because I know how amazing you are. So I am actually from Europe. I grew up in Belgium, and my first language is French. I actually grew up, so I said in Belgium, it's a trilingual country, French, Dutch, and German. So I can actually understand the other two languages as well, and English, of course. So just to make it very short, I was working in Europe my first job was in the diplomatic field. And for 7 years, I worked with the diplomats in Brussels, actually. And then, for 7 at the Royal Thailand Embassy. And later on, I left everything to go into the ministry, into the Christian ministry with my ex-husband. And we actually worked in the ministry for a few years. And then I went back to work for 2 or 3 years, and then I went back to work at the European Union, at a political lobby for the European Union. And then I moved to the US, and today it's a long story. The move to the US will be for another time, but I currently work at an IT company, an amazing IT company where I'm really happy. So
that's so awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our viewers, I guess if you don't mind, tell something about what led up to the first pre-birth memory.
Actually, as we talked today, I will share. As you know, I have 2 major near-death experiences, which is different from the pre-birth memory. And for our newcomers, the pre-birth is actually a memory that you have from before you came to Earth, before you were born to Earth. The pre-birth memory. So you have memories of not being necessarily in this life on Earth, but being in another place, another world that actually you were sent on Earth, or you sent yourself on Earth. A near-death experience is while you're living on Earth, you have a medical condition that actually brings you to death. And then you go to that world again. So when the doctor or when your body resuscitates itself, you're back here, but then you have experienced another world. People call it heaven, and you have different words to call it. So today, as you said, Michelle, today I will talk about the 2 brief memories I have. And as I said, later on, I'm so excited to talk about actually the near-death, because you'll see how it connects with each other. It's, like the pre-birth is the memory before, but the near-death is after, but you go to the same place. You go back, actually. It's more that. So for the 2 memories that I have, the 2 memories is one, and it's brief. I know you have way more pre-birth memories, and I have more near-death experience. So it will be interesting to see how we are going to talk about that. Yes. But my 2 memories that I have, the first one, we are in a world which is not Earth, and we are hundreds of beings in white long white robe. I feel like we are young spirits, and we are walking towards a huge wide building, and we have actually with us some kind of supervisors, but they are not like we think on Earth, like those mean supervisors that wait for you to make an error or something. They, you know, they look more like what people would say angels. They're also in white robe, and they're there to make sure that you're okay, to make sure that you go where you need to go. It's like a serving supervisor, not an authoritative one like we have the model here on Earth. In that, as you know, in that other world, it's completely different than Earth here. Everything is totally filled with love. It's actually the love ingredient that actually permeates the entire world over there. And the peace as well. Here we are in so much fear and sadness and all kind of anger. But that the other world where we come from, I would say, is actually a word of peace and of love. So my first memory was more going to that big, very wide building that looks like an ancient Greek building with a lot of stairs, and it was huge, wide, really. And when you talk, you know, many people that had near-death experiences also have seen that building. So it's interesting that I had that memory, and when we go back, some people have seen those buildings as well. And I think you have, in that world, you have a lot of big building. You have the Hall of Life. You have different halls like that actually for the purpose of what you're doing in there. And for example, the Hall of Life is where all our lives are stored. Every life that we had here, you know, it's called the Hall of Life, actually. And so I know for the newcomer, it might be kind of weird to hear that, because you've never heard even that there is a pre-birth, but that there's something before we were here. Because when we're here, we always think we're just born here, and then from here we go. But we have another. We come from a world, but our memory is blocked when we come to Earth, so that we can accomplish the mission we come, or the learning we come to do on Earth. That was the first memory I have. Yeah.
And you know, speaking of the white building, now I have been to that building several times, and it's like all the building. It's the best way I can describe what I see is like a tremendous giant courthouse.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's a
huge
courthouse. Yes.
Lots of steps going up.
Yes.
And when I go inside, it's like I go into there. It's humongous, but it's like there's several floors. Like I can see like different balcony levels. And I go into this room, and it's like all I see are books, just books that are lined like on shelves all around the walls. And there's actually what appears to be a male energy, a man. But you know, it's the energy, but there's like a keeper over that. Yeah. And then I fall asleep. It's like I'm there, within consciousness during meditation or prayer, something like that. But then once I'm there, it's like I'm not allowed to remember if I'm not going there on purpose, you know, to ask information. If I'm just being brought there by my spirit guides or my angels, then if they're just escorting me there for some reason, I don't know exactly what's happening during that time. I don't know if they're giving me information of something, or if they're trying to fix something, or I don't know. But that's all I remember.
Well, you see, it's interesting that you say that. My sister in Belgium also had a near-death experience. So not a pre-birth, not a memory before, but her heart stopped, and she had a tumor under the heart. And so she went to the other world, and it's a long story. But as she saw the Hall of Life, that you saw the same building I saw from the outside, that huge white courthouse type of building with all those stairs, she went inside too, and she saw all those books, or she saw scrolls, or she knew it was all over in infinite. And she actually saw beings actually working on those roles. And I have another friend who had a near-death experience, and he went to that same building. And just like you, he saw all those books, and he didn't know our roles. He didn't know what they were. And he was told that it was the books of each of us, of our lives. Because actually, at the moment we're on Earth, it's like a camera that's rolling. And all our life is actually registered, inside that roll. Like in the old days, we had rolls on the film.
Yes.
It's almost like it's your whole life is recorded, and then and that place keep all our lives. And so he saw that, and he was told that. And he said, but I don't know. He said that he saw people were going back and forth on those books. And he didn't know what they were doing. So I told that to my sister in Europe, who also had a near-death experience, also went to that world. And she said, Yvonne, I know what they were doing. Tell him. She said, actually, what they were doing, they were going back on those, back and forth on those books, which represent, each book is each of our lives. And whenever, before we come to Earth, we have planned our life, the highlights. Everything else we have free range, free spirit, free everything. But the highlight of what we want to learn on Earth is planned, is pre-planned. So she was explaining me that she was told, when she was seeing those people working back and forth on those books or scroll, she said that actually they were, for example, if we had planned before coming on Earth to learn something, but while we were here, we decided to change and go to another course of action and do something else. So they were updating those books.
Oh, wow. That is so neat.
They were updating to make it stay up to date. Of course, with the technology, not just writing like we do, but over there in that world, it's all energy, and they can actually update with energy and fast with light. It's a different world. It's science fiction point 100.
Yes, right.
When you're in that world, you feel like it feels like the technology is so advanced.
It is, but isn't it so peaceful though?
Peaceful, and it also permeates God's light. Creator, force light, source light. It permeated that atmosphere over there as well. Did you feel that as well?
Yes. It's always just, it's like when I'm there, I know where I'm at. I don't know how. And it's like I don't even try to think of why am I here or anything like that. It's just, okay, I'm here. And I know I'm supposed to be here. And I'm usually accompanied with a spirit guide or an angel. Everything's white.
Yes.
It's like everyone,
Right.
The steps, the buildings, everything is white, except the books and the scrolls. They're not completely white, but the outside, and what everyone wears is just, it's like, I just know that that's where I belong.
Yeah, it is. And when you're there, I'm sure you don't even feel that it's strange to be there. You feel like it's totally normal.
I do. I feel like that is more real.
Normal,
Yes.
Because actually it is our home. But and maybe we all on Earth, I feel like we always feel like something is missing. Every one of us always feel, do we belong there? Or there's always that puzzle, that piece, that one piece of the puzzle in our heart. And I think it's because we are here, and when we are over there, the piece is added, and we are complete. We feel complete. Yes.
Oh, I so believe that. So now, when you had your first pre-birth memory, I know cultures are different, belief systems are different. You know, we all are on our own journey. And I'm just wondering, Yvonne, how did, or how hard or easy was it for you to begin telling people about these pre-birth memories?
Well, you know, my pre-birth memory came back to me after my near-death experiences. So, you know, when you leave this earth because you temporarily dead and you come back, it's almost like the veil is open now with home, and it came after. So for me, it was comfortable because when I had my near-death experience, I looked everywhere to find a group of people that were like me, that had the same experience, that died and came back. And I found IANS, which is an International Association for Near-Death Studies. It's a very respected, I'm part of it. And it's a very respected global organization that actually studies scientifically the near-death experience, what people have. And they're very serious. When the television want to interview somebody, they will contact IANS. So I found that organization, and there I was. That's when at first I had a hard time sharing my experience. But they said, here you can share, you're safe. We are listening to everything. You don't have to hold back, because they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in that organization that had near-death experiences from around the world. So I shared. So when my pre-birth came, I was already used to share my near-death experience in our groups, in our NDE groups, near-death experience groups, and then and that's when little by little I said, oh, I remember that, and I had another memory that I had. That I remember that was not during my NDE, but that just, I said, oh, I remember that. It came after my NDE. So it was, for me, it was easy. But I imagine for you who have had a pre-birth memory, and you have to share it to people, because you're giving a gift. So many people are with anxiety where I'm from, where I'm going, and our purpose today is really to give people that gift of peace, in a way. Yes. So for me, it was easy. And for you, was it? Have you shared? Was it easy for you?
No, no, because a lot of it, I believe, is where I live, with a lot of the belief systems, because we weren't, myself growing up, I wasn't taught that things like, I just, to be blunt, I was taught this is evil, this is the devil, things like this don't happen, it's trickery and things like that. So for me to come out and tell everyone, and especially broadcast it on YouTube, 2 years ago, but God was pushing me. I was being pushed. Like, you have to do this now. Don't wait anymore. Go ahead. Tell them about the extraterrestrials. I have gotten so much slack. But then what happens? It comes out. It starts coming out and being, all this information right after I listened to God and did what I was supposed to do. And so it's really been hard and trying for me. But the thing is, when family or close loved ones, neighbors, whatever, they say, oh, she needs help, or,
Well, it is true. It is true that because we've been conditioned since childhood to believe one way. So as adults, we only want to believe that way. And I was like you. I mean, I grew up, I was in a very system belief that was also evil. When I had my near-death experience, I had one where I saw Christ. So it's all coming together. But I saw many other things as well. I saw spaceships, and I saw things like that. Just like you, I saw things that were not what I was taught, and yet I could not deny it. And I was told that it was the devil that actually was putting a cloth of light, a robe of light, to deceive me. But it was the devil. It wasn't Christ. It wasn't the light. And I said, well, if when we are dead, it's the devil that shows up, what is God's might? You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah.
Ridiculous, especially when you have lived your life with a deep love for God. He protects us. And again, that's the concept we have here on earth. We've been taught a certain way, and that teaching that we've been taught imprison us in fear, in condemnation, and we want to make sure the other ones stay in that fear. So by we say, oh, is it real? But God is so much above it. I mean, and that word, I mean, I say God, but it can be source, it can be creator. Everyone has a word for it, which is the same. It's creator of everything. And there's so much love in that world, and so little, no condemnation. So we have to open the doors of our hearts to believe that there is more gift for us. I feel like, because we've been so bruised since childhood, on this planet, there's a lot of betrayals, a lot of things like that, a lot of hurts. We hurt others as well.
Yes.
So it brings us, as being adult, we have lost believing in the beauty of things, and I guess, but we're here to share that do it together.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I'm absolutely enjoying this. And I just saw that we have Get Spooky Society is here watching from Montana. Stephanie with Get Spooky Society, do you have any questions that you would like to ask? If so, just give us a comment there. I think this is so interesting about these pre-birth memories.
Another one, but I will let you have the other whenever you're ready. I can send.
Oh, go ahead, please. I'm excited.
It's just it's gonna be for people to understand. It's a bit, but I remember being on a platform. Again, it's like a building that's very Greek looking. And we are on that platform, and it's a wide building in the back of me, and we are on the platform there, like a big balcony type of thing. And I have next to me, and we are in the middle of the universe. So we're just standing there in the middle of the universe, because once we are no longer in this physical body, we are much more versatile. And so we are on that platform in the middle of the universe, and there's a teacher next to me. He's my guide, and he's my teacher, and he's teaching me about all the planets, and then Earth as well, because I have to go to Earth. And so I see all those planets, and he's showing me and teaching me about it and about Earth in itself. So that, and he was just here, but the whole atmosphere is very peaceful. And it feels completely normal to be there in the middle like that and looking at Earth. So that's my second memory that I have.
I love that. I have, that's okay, Stephanie, no problem.
But Stephanie has a question, or?
No, she said she had just jumped on, so she hadn't had time to hear your whole story. So she didn't really know what to ask at that point. But I have a question. So what your thoughts are on this, because there are a lot of times when I'm taken out of my body, and usually it's like to another dimension, or somewhere different than this 3D realm.
Okay.
And it's usually to get some kind of information, or I'll wake up on a spacecraft. But a lot of times I'm accompanied by a spirit guide. Now, sometimes I see them.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't see them. I'll have a glimpse, like peripherally to my side, of like their white robe.
Yeah.
Or I'll know that it's a male or a female presence.
Yeah.
that's what they exert to me. I don't really know if they have male or female specific, identities. I feel like that's just how they project themselves.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I had an experience like that as well when I was many years in Europe, many years ago in France. Actually, I was living in France with my ex-husband when I was in that ministry. And my first that experience is when I had a visitation in my room of Christ, a real visitation. The whole room disappeared, and next to me, and I can tell that another time. That's a story for another time. And next to me was a being, like you said. I couldn't see the being, but I knew it was a male energy, and I knew it was he was and he was talking to me telepathically in my mind.
Yes.
Not with words, not with the mouth, but with the thought, from thought to thought. And I believe that we have a guardian angel or guides that are actually coming with us on earth. To help us throughout, they serve us, they help us, like we might do that one day when we go home for somebody else. So I do believe we have guides that are, or angels that stay with us, or when we have a divine encounter or a travel, like an out-of-body travel, we will be protected and surrounded. And sometimes you can see them, sometimes you don't, and it's okay. It's the world of spirit. It's like that, you can, but that's what I think it is, according to my own experience. Because when I was there and I saw Christ in the corner of my room on the top right, and we were like, and it's like I was out of my body, because the whole atmosphere was like the universe without stars. It was like a black velvety, but totally peaceful. And I was wondering who was that being, and that guy next to me, or angel next to me, I knew was here, and he said to me in my mind, "This is Jesus."
Oh, that's so precious.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes. Yes, it is. And I have another question. Sometimes when I leave and go to other realms, in consciousness, a lot of people, I think I don't describe it well enough. A lot of people, I think the way I say it, they have the impression that my body just, boop, I'm gone. No,
it's a good
consciousness.
I think it's your spirit that goes, your spirit, which is inside the body.
Yes.
It's like a car with a passenger in it.
Right.
So the car stays here, but the passenger flies somewhere else.
and sometimes I'll only see like from the neck down. It's like a picture that's cut off. Like I am not allowed to know what their face looks like.
Oh wow.
It's just sometimes. Yeah. Normally they show me their faces, but sometimes it's like it took years, and I really feel like it's the same energy. She portrays herself as a female energy. She's dark skinned, like African American, and she always has on a white lab jacket. And but I can never. It's like when I'm on the ship, it's like I'll wake up and she's teaching me things. Okay. And she actually showed me one time energy access points. They were like as if I was a satellite up in the sky, but I knew I was on a spacecraft looking down at Earth. And I could see red dots like you would like Google Map something. Yeah. And I saw red dots at different places. And she said, let me show you how we do this. But not once did I get to see her face. Okay. So it took several instances after that and several years until I finally got to see her face. And actually, I posted that not long ago. It hasn't been but a few months now that experience happened. I got to actually meet her. I remember with my guide flying into this domed area, And I actually got to see her, no lab jacket. I got to see her. But I feel like she's the same one.
And then how was she looking like?
She's beautiful. I definitely feel like she looks just like us. Yeah. Just like us. Except she's taller. But I feel like she's the same energy that came to me with my near-death out-of-body experience. The very first incident, I feel like it was her. Without the covering. Yeah. It's like for the first time I get to really see her, or the energy of this female energy that's been with me all along.
It must have been like euphoric.
It was.
Being able to see her, that must be so amazing.
Yes. Yes.
And I know that you had that amazing experience in that world with her. And I hope one day I can ask you those questions, that you can share all that too, because it's
yes, absolutely. You know it. Oh, absolutely. So, Yvonne, you are just absolutely phenomenal. I love these experiences that you have had. And I have to ask this as well. So have you noticed, either with pre-birth memories or NDEs,
yes,
having, like, how was your life in general prior to these events? I mean, did you have a lot going on as far as what we would consider hardships?
Yes. Actually, IANs, there are some studies done that many people that have near-death experiences or have actually had either a difficult childhood or a lot of challenges. It doesn't mean that everybody that has an NDE has had a big bad childhood, but there's a big percentage. My life, when I had my first NDE, I had just moved to the US. I had married an American man, and it was not working. He was abusive. And so I had to flee with my daughter in a new country that I knew nothing about. So I had to start all over again. And and I wanted my daughter to really have a future. So I worked overtime. And it created arrhythmia in my heart, but I will tell that story later. Sure. And that's what led me to, at some point, have my near-death experience. I went to the cardiologist and everything. So I had, that's what happened. That's when I had my, we say near-death experience, but in a way it's a death experience, but you come back, death and return experience. Because people think of near-death that you had an accident, you almost die. No, it's when we say near-death experience, it's like the heart stop or something, a moment of your body stopped to live, and then you come back in.
Yes.
Like people with heart attack or in surgery where they flatline and then they come back. Many times they've had that experience. So and I think you told me that your experience, how did your experience or your memories came back?
Yes. Well, I remember when, while I was out of my body, I remember when I came back to my body, the physical bed, my husband was lying in the bed, I was bedfast, and I was bleeding internally. Okay. And my whole, the whole bed just went thump. It was like a big thump. Like I had literally fallen and shook up the whole bed. We were living in like it was, I forget what you call them, but it was like an attic that had been made into an apartment. I needed to live somewhere immediately next to UK Hospital in Lexington, Kentucky. And it was right beside the hospital. So, we had to take it. And it was 3 stories up, which was not good because I was bedfast. So my husband had to help drag me, and I had to pull myself up. But anyways, another story. But the thing is, when my body, or when my spirit came back into my body, it was like I immediately, like, it hit and I woke up and I was like, but I could feel like the whole bed trembling. And, my husband was like, what happened? And just, I mean, it was just amazing. And I could just, I just knew and could feel the vibration of the whole floor that we were on, which it wasn't huge. It wasn't a huge area, but the whole area had just, been vibrating, and it was amazing.
Yeah. It's almost like you came back into your body. But because we are spirit beings of light, so the energy that we carry with us is so powerful. So I'm sure that when you went back, that was actually the impact.
Yeah.
Coming back into your body, actually. It makes sense.
Yeah. And, I've never felt that boom coming back into my body since. That's the only time. But
when I had my 2 near-death experiences, for a while at night, I know I was going somewhere, because every morning I would feel my spirit coming back inside my body. I could feel the feeling of coming back inside the body from the head, like that. I could feel it. So I can, but it was not as powerful as what you had. But I could feel that my spirit had left my body during the night, but I couldn't remember anything. But I just would remember the whoosh back in the body. So
it's so cool.
Yeah, for a while, and then oftentimes after your NDE, you spend the few first years, you also have and then with time it started to kind of fade a little bit away, but you have all the kind of different experiences, but we can talk about that another time, in other worlds as well.
Yes. So now with these pre-birth memories, are they all, or are both of them in the same place, or do you have any, like, what would be seen or thought of as past life memories? Or I know that's kind of a touchy subject. I'm learning more and more, and just something I'm interested in. I'm learning more and more that past life may actually be simultaneously going on right now in another dimension, in another timeline. So, I mean, it's just, that's why I'm just, hey, thank you, North Texas Whispers from the Dark. Welcome. Thank you for coming. But I'm just wondering, if you've had any experiences like that, or what your thoughts based on the things that you've experienced.
Okay. I personally don't have memories of past life on Earth at all. Most of my experience are always back into that world, but I've been in different spots of it, in different location. Like, for example, the first one was in that city where you had that huge building, white Greek style building, like we were talking, with all those stairs going up, huge, big stairs. And we are in a city, and it's very bright, and everybody has white long robes, and we're all walking towards that, and many people. But the other experience, experience that I remember, I'm in I'm in a building that looks like Greek, but it's behind me, but it's like a platform sitting on, just standing in the universe. You see what I mean? And it's just there. There's no, because once we're out of this body, I mean, the law of gravity is no longer controlling us. So I guess they have it's a different world with all the, once it's all the technology that we don't have here. So, and I'm standing there and I'm looking at all those planets, as I said earlier, and that teacher teaching me about the planet and Earth where I have to come. So it's two different locations, those two memories that I had of pre-birth. Of course, my near-death experience, I had those two major, with a lot of things happening in the near-death experience where I went and everything. Yes.
Okay, let's see. Instead, I felt my spirit start to leave my body while I'm still awake. Yes. That's a really strange feeling. Yes, absolutely. And both of us, I believe, have experienced that. Yes, as well. That is a real thing. I have a question. Whispers from the Dark. I'm really interested in if you've came out with this experience or these experiences, however many you've had, and if you have, do you have, are you met with ridicule from others, or is it hard for other people to believe? Or, I'm really interested to know, because, I know I have been ridiculed by a lot of people, and it's very comforting just to be doing what I'm doing, because I'm being able to meet with people, like Yvonne and you, Whispers from the Dark, and so many people around the world who actually have these experiences, and we know they're real. But the issue is being brave enough to say, okay, this is what I experienced, and this might sound silly, but it's the most beautiful, absolutely amazing experience, more so than anything on this planet. So I just think it's so important. So if you just leave us a comment down there, that would just be so awesome. Okay, and so Yvonne, is there anything else that you would like to bring forth about your experiences?
Well, as I told in the beginning, my major experiences are near-death experience. It's when it was here. I had two shorter events. But what I want to say, just say, if we end, is that we are all beings of light. We are coming from another world, and we are actually coming to Earth to experience Earth. And but that world of light is actually filled with God, with the Creator, with love. And we are going to, we can live our life here on Earth the best we can, because we are going to go back home. So yes, there's a lot of ridicule. Before my experiences, I would have maybe said that's really ridiculous. It's insane.
Right.
Yeah, but having experienced it now, it's I believe I'm a believer, because I'm an experiencer. So I think if people can open up to this and start to think about themselves, and where do I come from? Where do I go after this journey of Earth? I mean, we all will eventually have to think of it.
Yes.
Or everyone on the planet will have one day to think of what's the next journey after this Earth. So if you can start by thinking, okay, there's a next journey, and did I exist before? So today is like an introduction to just say, open your heart, open your mind. And I know we're all very skeptics. We are all skeptical because we are in a world where it's all about logic. I mean, the logic of this world, of course, but there's so much more than the logic of this Earth. So if we can open up, we can open up, because this is what we have been. It's like if we go to a planet, a planet that is far away, and then we realize, people from Earth, we go to that planet and we see that their methods, the way they live, what they believe to be absolutely what it is, it's totally different than what we are actually believing. And our models are different, our social standards are different. And then yet in that planet, that's what they believe. I mean, we can put it in a reverse Earth. We have all those standards that we believe. And so we believe that there's only Earth, there's no other things out there. Life might end with us, but there's more to life before and after. There's more life before and after.
Absolutely. And Yvonne, listen at this. This is just so neat. Okay, Whispers from the Dark. This is really, really cool. Thank you for posting this. This is what this is all about. This is so exciting to tell our stories. Okay, so Whispers from the Dark. I have made some videos on my experiences, and thus far, I haven't had any problems with the naysayers, which is wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, I have also had something that I think was time slips. I did a video on them as well. That's really awesome. That's why I started my channel, to tell my story. Whispers from the Dark. I'm definitely going to have to check you out. This sounds so interesting, and it sounds like we all have some things in common there, just from the little bit that you've said. So very nice.
This Whisper from the Dark has also some memories or experiences.
I'm not sure. Whispers from the Dark, would you like to comment on that, please? And I'm just going to read what was said in the beginning. Said, instead, I've felt my spirit start to leave my body when I'm still awake. That's really strange.
An out-of-body experience, yes.
Yes, yes. So that's, listen, out-of-body experiences are absolutely beautiful, just as much as pre-birth memories, near death, you know, yes.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Now, Yvonne, oh, well, okay, here we go. There are different worlds that also connect and interact with ours. Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally believe that. Amethyst. Hello, Amethyst. Welcome. Glad you're here. This is Yvonne Sneeden, for those of you who are just now coming on. Yvonne, just can you recap just really quickly for those coming on about a little bit about your background?
Okay, yeah. Actually, I'm from Europe. I grew up in Belgium, and my first language is French. I grew up in a trilingual country. I did actually work in the diplomatic field in Belgium, in an embassy. For 7 years, and then I also did an interruption of 3 years to go in a ministry. It was in the Christian ministry back then, with my ex-husband. And after that, I came back to Belgium when I divorced, unfortunately. And I went to work at a lobby for the European Union, and then moved to the US, and I actually married an American man. That's why I moved to the US, my second marriage. And then since then, we divorced as well. I mean, he was abusive. I didn't have a lot of luck in that field, but and because of a lot of strife about trying to be in this world and work, and I had a daughter to actually in a new country. I had my heart, I worked so much and overtime, and the stress and the worry to start a new life. I had 2 near-death experiences. My heart stopped, and I went to a different world, which we haven't talked about this time. Amazing, amazing experience that transformed all my life. And but today we were talking about the memories I had about living before Earth. So I share those 2 memories of those 2 experiences. And we've been talking about how the pre-birth and the near-death experience are actually connected, because a pre-birth is actually your memory before you came to Earth, not another life on Earth, but before you came to Earth. And then near-death experiences are when you were clinically dead and you went somewhere, and when you resuscitated, you're back in your body, and then you can share. So, but they both connect because we both come from the same, all go to the same world. I mean, it's home. Yes. And they're like Whispers was saying, there's so many other worlds out there, and maybe we can do another video about all the worlds that exist. And
yes, why not?
There's so many worlds, but also ultimately there's the light of the creator or source. And I was in my second NDE. I was totally inside creator's light, God's light. But we will talk about that in another video. If you're
absolutely,
if you one day,
oh yeah, for sure, ASAP.
Yeah, so many.
These are great.
My purpose is to encourage people. and to say that there's so much more and more love than what we experience on earth. And I'm sure that's what your purpose is as well. It's to encourage people.
Absolutely. And Whispers from the Dark said, until I started telling my stories and reflecting upon my experiences, I was afraid of death. That's something you and I have in common with you, Whispers from the Dark. Said, I am no longer afraid. Yes. That's actually what I had, I asked. Well, I should say I kind of screamed at God. I know that was horrible. I was dying, or I don't really want to say the word dying because we never die. My body was to the point of the doctors had basically given up on me, and there was really nothing else they could do. So that's when Whispers from the Dark, that's when I basically was like, okay, you know, I've been taught this one certain religion all my life. And all I've heard is if you're not in this religion, then you're not going to go to heaven. And so then I started asking God, okay, is this the right religion? How do you know you're in the right religion? And I really, because I was in so much fear, I was starting to freak out. But at the same time, I was waking up, if that makes sense, to what was truth. And it took that to kickstart me. Okay. It made me start thinking. And so I said, Yahweh! I mean, I screamed it. And and I was angry because I couldn't believe, you know, at that time, I was a nurse. I was a nurse. I was supposed to be up helping people. You know, how could this be happening to me? I'm supposed to be helping people, right? And I was angry. I had 2 sons. I had a husband. Why? You know? And so, Yahweh, I want to know if I die, you know, tell me the truth. If I die, what is the truth? Show me. And boom, I was tapped on my back by a man, well, a male energy's voice, but he seemed very familiar to me. Yeah. And he said, I'll be right back. And immediately straight in front of me was an extraterrestrial female that I also feel like she was angelic at the same time. But anyways, my point with all this is that she assisted me out into the universe, heaven, okay? Absolutely nothing but love.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, and it was so much love that there's no words for it on this planet. And once I was returned back to my body, there is no way that I will ever fear death again. Never.
Never.
So, you know, these experiences, Whispers from the Dark, I'm so grateful for them. And I know there's so many people, excuse me, around the world that have experiences like these that are so beautiful. But, you know, I have people contact me quite often, confidentially, who, you know, are either prominent or, you know, they're like me. You know, I was a nurse, and although I couldn't work, you know, because of the situation, still yet I had to be very careful at that time. I hadn't retired my license, so I had to be competent. And, you know, how do you tell these things to people? And, you know, so it's a really neat situation that now we can get on here and we can actually start telling of our beautiful, lovely experiences and help others who have had these experiences, who are afraid to wake up, or I'm sorry, who are afraid to speak up, you know, be able to relay that without feeling ridiculed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing this beautiful. And you were a nurse, so you know how you probably saw people passing and things like that. So you can really imagine you were right there as well. And talking about nurse, Whisper has sent a message saying that she was outside of her body at the hospital and she saw the nurse. And do you mind if I say to Whispers that actually you did have a near-death experience? It's so because when you were outside your body and you were looking down, it's probably meaning that you were having a near-death experience.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to say that, Michelle.
Wow.
Yes. So that's a near-death experience that you have, and so you can actually connect with Michelle later on, or by email, and we can give you some information about the near-death experience community where other people have had that same experience as you.
Absolutely. So Yvonne, yes, Yvonne, now how can you be contacted?
Big hugs too. Okay. Actually, you can. How can I have a Facebook page called? I'll give it to you here. I'll open it. We have two Facebook pages. One it's for myself, and then we have with Michelle a Facebook page for experiencers. And we can put that link here of that Facebook page, Michelle, in which we are for people that have had pre-birth or near-death experience. So we can actually later on, I can take that I can post it here.
Okay. Thank you. So you all know I'm not the best with tech. That's not my department, okay? I try, but
no, but you're doing phenomenal. I mean, you're doing this. I am not able to go on the group chat for some reason, but maybe because but I can actually, you know what? It's going to be on YouTube, right, Michelle?
Yes.
So maybe later on I can post it on YouTube, the link of our Facebook page where for experiencers like you, Whispers, and others like you that had a near-death experience. And
yes.
Or it's actually a place for both pre-birth and near-death, so we can communicate together. And I'll send that, and then also I'll put my Facebook page on that as well, and you can communicate directly like that as well.
Yes, that sounds phenomenal. And if you prefer just emailing, if you want completely, confidential, that's fine as well. My email is themichellebrogers@gmail.com. It's THEMICHELLEBROGERS@gmail.com. And you can most certainly email me there. And if you would like to even be a guest on the show at some point, absolutely email me, let us know. Also, Yvonne, do you have an email, or do you prefer people, how do you prefer people to contact you?
I usually use my Facebook page.
Okay.
And then I also have, I'm putting all the information there. If you want to contact me, I have a website, and I will put the website here so that you can actually, and on the website there is a contact at the end. There's a contact me, and if you contact, it's gonna go to my mailbox.
Nice.
I have actually put all the informations on the private chat for you, Michelle. So
thank you so much.
You can always get them on YouTube.
Okay, thank you so much. What would I do without you? I'm telling you.
We are friends. It's like a divine encounter, you and I.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so Whispers from the Dark said, I had a viewer submit her story to me of memories of being in Australia during World War II. Very nice. And I know I did. I'm sure that you're referring to having out a near-death experience. I know I did. They were coding me. I was an EMT. I don't do Facebook. Oh, okay. And that's understandable. But I can be contacted via email through my channel. Awesome. Okay. So, awesome. I'm going to be checking your channel out because I definitely understand. That's why I started mine as well, was to help people. So, you know, we're light workers, guys. We're light workers, and we're trying to shine our light and try to help so many people not fear anymore of the unknown. So, Yvonne, is there anything else that you would like to bring forth, or do you think we should just go ahead and
It's okay for today. We have already talked about a lot of things, and it was so exciting. Michelle, I'm so excited to be here today with you and all the people on the chat. Much big hug to you all.
Yes, to each of you. Much love.
Yeah.
Thank you each so much for coming, stopping by, and also for commenting and sharing your stories as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this broadcast now then. And I just want to say again, Yvonne, I'm so honored and blessed that you have come to my Divine Truth series today. This is just so divinely guided and beautiful, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, my friend.
Me too.
Bye, everyone. Love you.